Good morning. It is 7 a.m. I've been waiting for the sun to come up. I'm about an hour into a 3.5 hour drive. This morning I am going to Richmond, Virginia for Anime Inc. Tattoo Convention. I've done 2 other tattoo conventions this year by the same folks. I did Pop Culture Tats in Charlotte and Video Game Tats in Knoxville, and both were honestly quite good shows for me. So Anime Inc. is their flagship show. It's the big boy. I think this is year number 5. Because they're not including the year for COVID, because of course there was no con. And it has a really good reputation. I'm pretty excited. I've got a few friends who are going to be there. The Gumdrop Shop is going to be like 4 booths down from me, which is really awesome, especially because I'm going to be flying solo this weekend. And the Kawaii Snack, they do like candles, mostly like handmade candles. They're going to be there as well, and I haven't seen her in forever because she's taken a hiatus from doing shows. I'll link both of them. I'll link both of their Instagrams in the bio. They do some really cool stuff. So I'm looking forward to this weekend. Hopefully I do well. I've got some new stuff. I got a Tumblr press in the last couple of weeks. I decided there's a bunch of my own sticker art that I have been wanting to turn into Tumblrs. So my GUR sticker sheet, which has proven to be quite popular, is now on 2 different versions of the Tumblr. I did one with a purple background and one with an orange because I couldn't decide which I liked better. So I'm going to see how they do, see which one people prefer in person. I've got, of course, BBL Patrick on a Tumblr. I've got a Sailor Moon Tumblr. I put my Nezuko sticker on a Tumblr, which I'm really proud of how that one turned out. It's really cool. What else did I do? That might be all of them that I did so far. I've got some Bitch Beacon Tumblrs because the person I know who usually does those is not going to be there this weekend, and they sell well for her, so I'm going to sell them as well, hopefully. I've got, I think, a total of about $6,000 in plushie inventory, which is the most I've ever had going into a 3-day con. I'm hoping that that will be enough to carry me through the next 3 weeks, because next weekend I have Nightmare Weekend in Richmond as well. And then the following weekend I have Motown Con, which is a small 1-day show here in North Carolina. And so hopefully I'm not going to have to be panic crocheting the next 2 weeks to try and keep up. And then I have a couple of weeks break, and then I'm going to NecoCon. I never did hear back from them, which is unfortunate because I loved that show last year. But the Kawaii Snack, who, like I said, she's just getting back into shows after taking a hiatus, has offered me half of her booth space because she had a double booth. And I think because she's been out of it so long and funds are tight, she really needed to drop down to 1. So we're going to split that, which is cool because then I'll have a good neighbor. And after that, I got into NC Comic Con in Durham, which is a 2-day show. It's been around a while. They took a hiatus during COVID, and it took them like 3 years to get back up and running, I think. Last year was their first year back post-COVID. And from what my friends at the Crafty Lichen said, they did really, really well there. It was not crazy expensive. It's just in Durham, so it's not super far for me. So I'm not setting my expectations too terribly high, but I'm hopeful that I do all right there. And then I've put in for GalaxyCon Columbus, which I did that one last year and didn't do that great, to be honest. But I was kind of lost. Like, I didn't lose money. I made some money, but not a lot. But I was kind of lost between two very tall exhibitor booths. Both of their displays on either side of me were like 10, 12 feet tall. And I didn't have any of my 6-foot grid walls or anything like that. So I just kind of disappeared. So this time I put in for an artist alley booth to reduce my cost and hopefully increase my visibility a little bit. And I'm going to try flying to this show. It'll be the first time I fly to a show, but I've got a ton of Delta points. And it's been something that we've been experimenting with. I showed you in my last video how we've been reworking my booth to make an artist alley version of my display so that I could travel to these farther away cons, not need my trailer, and potentially even fly. So like if I could do something like, you know, Anime Expo in California or C2E2 in Chicago, I can fly and just take a partial setup and still have it look good and be able to bring enough inventory that it'll be worth it. So it's looking like the plan is for me to try doing that as my first long distance show, or as my first fly away artist alley show, because I already know that convention center. I did it last year. I can stay on site for relatively inexpensive, so we'll see how that goes. I've got about 2.5 hours left on my drive, and I will update you guys once I am in the convention center and getting set up. Okay, so we're checking in. It is 6 o'clock on Friday evening. It's been a little slow, though historically Fridays are kind of hit or miss anyways. But it's been a steady trickle. I am on track to at least make back my booth tonight, so I'm pretty happy with that. I know Saturday is the big day here. So I'm gonna hold up my breath. My goal for this weekend is to make at least 5K. I would be really happy with that. If I made more, that would be amazing. If not, you know, I'll just be happy with that much. This is a much bigger show than the last tattoo convention I went to. It was a much bigger show than the last tattoo convention I went to, so I'm hopeful that 5K should be doable. But we'll just have to see how the weekend goes. It took me until 1:30 to get set up today, even though I got here at 10. So it's been a long day. Good morning. I did not update last night because as soon as we left, we went out to get Korean barbecue, and then I went to bed because it was late by the time I got back to the hotel room. That's one of the downsides to these tattoo conventions, is that they go late. So last night I ended up making back my table and about half of the hotel fee, so I'm pretty happy with that.
if you've done conventions before, you know that Fridays can really be hit or miss. So making table on a Friday is always a good thing. I'm hoping for today to do a lot. Saturday is, of course, the big day because it's Saturday, but then also for this show specifically, Saturday is the big day from people who have done this in years past. All right, so I want to take you guys through some of my new stuff that I brought for the first time to this show. So I just had these made. I had a couple sticker books made. We have Big Booty Patrick, and we've got Hello Kitty. I've got a bunch of new sticker sheets. I've been kind of on a roll with stickers. Now, Gur and the Boo sheet and the villain sheet I had already, but these guys are all new. I've got bunnies, cats, and Mothman. I got on a roll this week and I was drawing a ton. I drew Totoro, Keroppi, Hello Kitty, Pochako, Choco Cat, Senna, Batsmaru, he's crooked, and Kuromi. I've been wanting to do them as stickers, but just finally settled on a style for them, so I was able to get a bunch done. And then I also got some little notebooks made. They're just like notebooks to write in, and I thought they would go well with all the pens and pencils that I'm selling. Over here on earrings, we just have a couple of new ones. I got some printable shrink plastic a while back, and so I printed off some of my popular stickers, shrank them down and sealed them with resin and turned them into earrings. I thought that was pretty cool. We have those. We have BBL Patrick. We have some Soot Sprites on a cupcake. And then I sold out of Nezuko charms before, so I decided to make my own out of my Nezuko sticker. And then, of course, we have the new tumblers because I got a tumbler press. The Bitch Be Guns, it's a PDF you can find on Etsy. They're just really funny. They're really bright and colorful. They're a good eye catcher. And, of course, we have a BBL Patrick. He's everywhere in my booth at this point. We've got this cool Sailor Moon drawing that I did. She's gotten a lot of love so far. I'm really excited about that. And we have Gur. There's music overhead now. Yeah. Okay, we've got my Gur tumblers. And then we've also got Nezuko on a tumbler. So I thought that was cool. So that's everything new that I have this week. Anime Inc. Day 3. It is 11:24. I have been here since 10. They let VIPs in at 10, but we don't have to be open until 11. I just wanted to get here early so I could catch the tattoo artists on their way in. And so yesterday I left my camera here at the booth, or I would have updated you last night. I did triple the sales yesterday of what I did on Friday. So now I'm here about 3 times what my gross cost to be here was. That's for gas, food, parking, table, hotel. So I'm really happy, and we've got a whole day left. I will update you later. So we're doing it's 3:30 on Sunday. We're checking in here. It's been much more of a stop and start kind of day than yesterday was. Of course, it's Sunday, so Sundays can be really hit or miss. I'm doing really good on sales, though. I've had more bigger ticket items go today than usual. So I'm at about half of what I did yesterday, and I've still got 3.5 to 4.5 hours left of this show. They give us access to the loading dock at 7. Depending on how foot traffic does and what all my neighbors do. I could start packing up before 7 so I can load out as soon as that happens, or I could be waiting until a little bit later. It's just kind of a wait and see. Thankfully, this isn't one of those shows where they expect you to be there the entire time, because that would be quite the drag being here till 10 o'clock at night, long after most of the attendees have gone home. Hey, how are you guys? So we're just kind of waiting and seeing. I am currently about $700 short of what my goal for the weekend was, more like $650. And I'm okay with that. If I don't hit it, that's fine. It would be cool if I still could. I've still got a couple of bigger ticket items that several people have been wanting that may come back for them before the end of the day. So anything's possible. So we're just kind of waiting to see what happens. Monday. I look a little rough because I am very tired. I got home about 1 a.m. from Richmond. I just wanted to pop in and give a final thoughts, results, everything like that from Anime Inc. So I ended up doing $49.23 in sales. I came just shy of meeting my goal. I'm really happy with that because with the way Friday sales went, I wasn't sure that I was going to even get that close. So I am not at all mad about it. I'm really happy. This is honestly one of the best shows I've done all year. So let's talk cost. This booth cost me $750. My hotel was $251. I spent around $100 in gas and $60 on parking this weekend. Now, when you take all of that from the top, you'll see what my total take home was. This does not, of course, factor in materials cost or inventory cost. I haven't done all of the numbers on that. But just to give you an idea, this is what my take home is here on the screen. So this was probably going to be one of the best shows I do all year. I 100% will be going back next year as long as they let me back in. So, should you do this show, if you're thinking about it? That really, really depends on your demographic. I know it is an anime show, however, it is a tattoo convention, so it is not your typical anime kid crowd. So this convention is going to be mostly your 30 plus people who are in their careers. You know, they've got their families, they've got money. So you're not going to, if you appeal to your typical anime kid, the low cost or the impulse purchases that they're going to go after, this may not be the show for you. If you appeal to a mainly like horror, Halloween, spooky alt crowd, this also may not be the show for you. None of my stuff that sold like hotcakes at Mad Monster really sold at all this weekend, even though it is spooky season. And so, like, this is my third tattoo convention of the year, so I know that my stuff does well. If you've never done a tattoo con, but you're thinking of giving it a try, I would recommend going ahead and giving it a go. However, don't bet your livelihood on it. Don't do it if this show going poorly for you is going to really mess you up. Because I know that some of the vendors did really great this weekend and then others did absolutely terribly. So it's really, you just got to know your demographic, which is true of any show, but I think especially this kind of show, if you don't appeal to the very specific demographic that's there, it could bite you in the butt. I, however, will definitely be going back. I know they announced that they're going to Savannah next year. I don't currently have anything for April so far, but I don't know that I'm going to want to drive that far and have a hotel for a first year. I did their first year in Charlotte this year, but that's also within driving distance of my house. So the costs associated with doing that one were a lot lower. I hope that this wasn't too messy of a convention vlog. This is my first time really trying to vlog and update during the show. Hopefully I'll get better at it over time. It was really great. My next show is actually this coming weekend at the same convention center, but it's a horror show with GalaxyCon. I'm doing Nightmare Weekend Richmond. I did it last year, did pretty well. Hopefully this year it'll be even bigger than it was last year. I know that I've also made a lot of changes to my inventory that I think will serve me well with that crowd. If you like this vlog, if you want to see more convention vlogs from me, if you're interested in any of my other content, it'll recommend you something around here. Make sure that you like and subscribe. That really helps out my channel. And leave me a comment. Have you done Anime Ink before? Is it one that's in your list of 2 tries? Do you have tattoos? Do you want to go to a tattoo convention? Have you ever been to a tattoo convention? Any of that, I would love to hear it. Hope y'all have a great week, and I am going to get back to crafting to replace my inventory for next weekend. Bye-bye.